Alright, today we're going to be doing I Am Legend, the Will Smith movie. A different take on zombie slash vampires, and I really liked it. Let's get into it. Alright, I'm Rick, and today we're doing I Am Legend. A lot of people don't know that it's actually a remake of the old Charlton Heston movie Omega Man. Now, they've done a lot of different things with it, so it's not a shot-for-shot kind of remake like, say, Peter Jackson's King Kong was. This is a little different, and it goes in a different direction, and I really love what they did with it. Let's take a look. So I Am Legend is a 2007 American post-apocalyptic film, kind of an action thriller, and it's loosely based on the 1954 novel by the same name. It was written by Richard Matheson. The film is directed by Francis Lawrence, and the screenplay is from Akiva Goldsman and Mark Protosevich. This film stars Will Smith as a U.S. Army virologist. His name is Robert Neville. It is set in New York City after a virus, which was originally created to cure cancer, has wiped out most of mankind, leaving Neville as the last human in New York, other than nocturnal mutants. Neville is immune to the virus, and he works to develop a cure while defending himself against the hostile mutants. This is actually the third feature film adaptation of Matheson's novel, following 1964's The Last Man on Earth and 1971's The Omega Man. In addition to Will Smith, I Am Legend also stars Alice Braga. The music was scored by James Newton Howard, and the cinematography is from Andrew Lesney. The production company that handled I Am Legend was Village Roadshow Pictures, Weed Road Pictures, Overbrook Entertainment, Heyday Films, and Original Film. The movie was distributed by Warner Brothers. It was released on December 14, 2007 in the United States with a runtime of 101 minutes. The budget for I Am Legend was $150 million. The box office brought in $585.3 million. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this is the third adaptation of the Richard Matheson novel. And of course, Hollywood has made a few changes. The plot for this particular film goes as such: a genetically re-engineered measles virus, originally created as a cure for cancer, turns lethal, and the virus kills 90% of the world's population and turns 99% into vampiric, albino, zombie-like, cannibalistic mutants. That's a mouthful. I think they're nicknamed in the movie Dark Seekers, who are extremely vulnerable to ultraviolet rays of sunlight. The remaining 1% of the population is immune to the virus and is the prey to the mutant Darkseekers. So the movie takes place in 2012, 3 years after the outbreak. United States Army virologist Lieutenant Colonel Robert Neville lives in isolation in the deserted ruins of Manhattan, unsure if any other uninfected humans are left. Neville's daily routine includes experimenting on infected rats to find a cure for the virus, searching for food and supplies, and waiting each day for any survivors who might respond to his continuous recorded radio broadcasts, which instruct them to meet him at midday at the South Street Seaport. He also listens to the song "Three Little Birds" by Bob Marley on repeat. Through flashbacks, it's revealed that his wife, Zoe, and daughter, Marley, died in a helicopter accident during the chaotic evacuation on Manhattan. as the military was enforcing a quarantine of the island. Neville himself stayed behind with the other military personnel. Neville's only companion is his German shepherd Samantha, whom he calls Sam, and to cope with his loneliness, he regularly talks to some of the mannequins and their characters on film recordings from video stores. At night, he barricades himself with Sam inside his heavily fortified Washington Square Park home to hide from the Darkseekers. One day, as Neville hunts a deer, Sam pursues it into a dark building. Neville cautiously goes in after her and locates the deer's corpse along with Sam, but discovers the building is infested with Darkseekers. Both of them escape unharmed, and the attacking Darkseekers are killed by the sunlight. Neville finds a promising treatment derived from his own blood, so he sets a snare trap and captures a female Darkseeker. A male Darkseeker attempts to pursue them, but is halted by the sunlight and returns to the shadows. Back in his laboratory in the basement of his house, Neville treats the female, seemingly without success. The next day, Neville notices Fred, a mannequin usually at the local video store, positioned outside Grand Central Terminal, and shoots him in confusion. Neville realizes he is being watched by the Darkseekers from within nearby buildings. As he approaches Fred's body, he is ensnared in a trap similar to the one he used to capture the female and is rendered unconscious. By the time he wakes up, the sun is setting and he's attacked by infected dogs. Neville and Sam eliminate them, but Sam is bitten during the fight. Neville injects her with a strand of serum, but when she shows signs of infection, Neville is forced to strangle her to death before she turns. Heartbroken and driven by rage, Neville ventures out and deliberately attacks a group of Darkseekers the following night, before he's rescued by a pair of immune humans, Anna and a young boy named Ethan, who have traveled from Maryland after hearing his broadcast. Neville, Anna, and Ethan retreat to the basement of the laboratory, sealing themselves in with the female test subject. Discovering that the last treatment was successful, Neville assesses the situation as the Darkseeker alpha male rams himself against the glass door to break in. Neville draws a vial of blood from the woman he cured and gives it to Anna before shutting Ethan and her inside a coal chute in the back of the lab. Neville then takes a grenade and kills the Darkseekers at the cost of his own life, saving the cure. The following day, Anna and Ethan arrive at the survivors' camp in Bethel, where they are greeted by military officers and other survivors before Anna hands them the cure. Anna narrates how Neville's effort and sacrifice to save humanity ultimately became legend, and people should take inspiration from him. Okay, fun fact. At one point, actors Tom Cruise, Michael Douglas, and Mel Gibson had all been considered to star in the film. Ridley Scott was also on tap to direct, and he in the studio wanted Arnold Schwarzenegger in the starring role. Scott and Schwarzenegger had actually signed, but back in 1997, due to the production problems and wanting a huge budget for the film, the studio opted not to film the movie at that time. Okay, now a lot of people don't like the bleakness of the film, but going into it, I knew that it was going to be kind of post-apocalyptic and very bleak and dark because of the nature of it. And I looked forward to it, and I understood that. And I liked the way it turned out. Now, because I have it on Blu-ray, I've watched both endings, and this is one where normally I can understand why they didn't include the alternate ending, because I usually like the original ending better. On this one, I'm split down the middle. I like both the actual theatrical ending and the alternate ending, and either one would have been fine with me. Drop a comment below and let me know which ending you prefer on this movie. All right, so there you have it. I Am Legend with Will Smith. Great movie. If you have any idea of anything that you want to see, drop me a comment below. Let me know if you like this, if you don't like it. Also, hit that like button, share it with others, and subscribe because we got content coming in every week. That's all I got right now. Stay positive, stay blessed. I'll see you again soon.